There we go. I was muted in the last stream, so you know that's important that I unmute. Hello everyone. We should be live now. Evan, have the stream on the background. Let's make sure everything is running as it should. But yeah, I think we're good. Hello everyone. It is time for Sonic Rumble, for better or for worse. Yeah, I hear myself in the stream, so I think we're good. Yep. How are we doing good today? Hell yeah, dude. Perfect, perfect. Let me make sure we also have you at a decent volume. I think around 115 should be fine. Hello, Fast the Sonic. I see you in chat. Thanks for being here. Really appreciate it. How are you, Evan? How are you doing today?
Pretty good. Sorry, as soon as you asked me, my dog walked right up to me and like wanted a lot of attention all at once.
Your dog is setting me up. It's okay. I want your attention too, though. So
I was like so ready to start talking and stuff, and then like immediately flooded with love and affection. I hope it's just love and affection and not asking to
go out,
the grand outdoors. But
you never know. You never know with dogs.
Well,
we have the same breed of dog, by the way, right? You have a golden retriever.
No, I have a Great Pyrenees.
A Great Pyrenees, okay. Though. Yeah, very similar. Yeah, I have a golden retriever. She's like 10 now, I think. She's getting old. But yeah, still doing good, thankfully.
When was the Steam release? It's still not.
It's not. It wasn't. The Steam release wasn't.
If it makes you guys feel any better, if you consider me a content creator, even though I barely upload, I haven't played it.
Yeah, he has not played this game.
I haven't played it. Oh wow, the dog wants to go outside.
It's okay.
I will have BRB.
You're fine. Yeah, the Steam release is not a thing yet. Unfortunately, it's a thing for creators, like those of us who applied to content creator access to Rumble. And you know, it's a game that I like. Despite all of it that will, you know, all of the stuff that we'll get into, you know, shortly. Yeah, things changed. Quite a few things have changed actually in this game, and again, a lot of it is stuff that I want to get into as we play. I think it's better if, you know, we showcase it kind of as I show things here. Let me make sure we get the claw machine prize real quick. Dude, don't you love mobile games and there are thousands of things to do every single time you log in? I say this ironically because I know a lot of people don't like it, but I unironically kind of do. I play a lot of like gacha and mobile games, so I'm very used to these billion things going on. But it's a learning curve for sure. Forces content, I mean, this game does have Forces stuff. It does have now the Death Bee Queen, whatever it's called, from the Zabok boss fight. That is a thing. I'm not sure if it's live. It's not live right now. But it is a thing. It is a thing indeed. So yeah, I think highlights that I want to quickly get, you know, out there before we head into this is they added Sweet Mountain and Cityscape, which is cool. I will say I do think they are the best stages in this game currently, so that's you know, that's pretty cool. But yeah, other than that, this game now has skills. And they've kind of completely reworked how emotes and the rest of stuff. So, when Sonic Rumble first said that, hey, we're gonna add skills, I was like, I'd expect it to be, well, let me actually make sure the volumes are as I want them to be. Let's be from the was with a fan favorite, yeah, fan favorite, let's call it that. So, when they first said they were gonna add skills, I very much just thought like Tails was gonna be able to fly, Sonic was gonna be able to maybe boost, maybe spin dash, etc, etc. But what they ended up doing is they got like, so a lot of the emotes before. By the way, this run is new as well. Started Carnival Run 3. This is this takes after one of the acts and started Carnival, one of the later acts. But essentially what they did is they took a lot of the emotes that basically could hit people, not harm them, so they wouldn't drop rings, but it would kick people, right? But they were emotes. But essentially they got those, and they made them skills, which is really weird. It's not what I was expecting, but I don't hate it. Okay, here we go with the let's hit Daki because he's a. If you guys don't know, in-game, people can see that I'm a content creator. And I feel like content creators get targeted in this game. Don't get me wrong, everyone gets a piece of things, right? But I really feel like content creators just get omega targeted. So as you can see, I have this baseball slide, right? And I have this air dash. So that is, again, see, that was a skill right there. For as little as it was, that was a skill. And then the air dash is, I'll show you guys in a second here when we open this. Ow. Ow, can I get unstunned? Thank you. So, ow, not the bomb. Let's make sure we hit all of these. Okay, this should open. Can someone please help out? No, thank you. Okay, there's one. Okay, thank you. See, that right there was an air dash. And the skills, you can level them up, and the more you level them up, the less cooldown they have, and the more effective they are. So say if it's an area of effect thing, see, for example, here the baseball slide, you know, kind of helps. They basically just get better, right? So again, it's kind of odd. Damn it, I wanted to hit him. That's why I got second. I was kind of waiting to hit him. So it's really odd how they work. But essentially you want to level them up, is what they did. You basically want to level up your skills so they're more effective at what they do and they have less of a cooldown. That is kind of the way this works. So yeah, it's a little odd. It's not what I was expecting, but it's also not bad. And I think what saves them for me is the fact that every character has their own unique skills. So there's the ones that I'm using right now are global, which means everyone can use an air dash and everyone can baseball slide. But Amy specifically can use a Pico Pico Hammer. I think Sonic specifically has whatever he has. Shadow has a Chaos Spear specifically. It's, again, that's what I was expecting skills to be. I was not expecting the global ones, and I was not expecting them to be more effective and have less of a cooldown the more leveled up they are, and I do believe all of the skills go up to level 5. I might be wrong, and maybe the unique ones go to 10, but I think every single one goes to 5. So, it's kind of unbalanced right now. It's a little weird, but it's there. So, I kind of think this specifically just kind of makes the delay make sense, because it's just a little odd right now. So, welcome back, Evan.
Dang.
I was just kind of going over the
actually...
whole skill thing.
I was also watching Sonic Central's stream, I think, yesterday. And they were saying the same thing. It's like, while the delay sucks, like, for those of the people who have been playing it for a while, as frustrating as it is, it seems like that's what most people are saying, is like, yeah but these skills kind of change everything. So.
Yeah, it's weird. So see, for example, right now, I think this is Shadow exclusive. I have the cross arms, right? And what this does is, again, it's very weird. This is why it feels so weird, right? The crossed arms was just an emote before, right? Which makes sense. Shadow crosses his arms, that's his emote, okay. But now, it's a skill, and it gives me a shield. So if I do this, I'm standing still, but I have a shield. But that just used to be a Shadow, like, emo, right? He's crossing his arms, he's brooding. That's the Shadow thing.
So wait, it comes with the emote when you attach it?
Yes! So now it's not an emote. It went from an emote to a skill. And it's a separate thing from emotes. It's odd.
What?
That's what makes it odd, because this used to be an emote, now it's a skill. See why that can get a little weird? Now, this is not confusion that people that haven't played this game will have, because you'll never have seen the crossed arms be an emote. But for those of us who've been playing, it was an emote, now it's a skill. And it basically emotes, because Shadow's crossing his arms, but now it's giving him a shield for the period of that. So it's a skill. Confusing, right? Weird, right? But it is, that's what it is.
It is what it is.
It is what it is, and that is what I think entirely makes the delay kind of make sense. And also, you guys can see there on my Y button, let's talk about the most unbalanced skill right now, ring swipe. What makes you win in this game is getting rings. There is a skill that allows you to swipe rings close to you. It's a little too good for...
Like they all magnetize to you?
Yes.
Oh, damn.
Yes, it magnetizes. It is unbalanced. I don't even think I have it at the highest level right now, so it's not even having the less cooldown and the less range that it could have. But look, boom, all of those, just mine. And that was a lot of rings right there. Also, I can punch people, but I think punch kind of sucks because you need to, like, the person needs to be standing still, and I find that kind of hard to land, like punch. See, I mean, I punched Sonado there, sorry. It worked, I guess. See, that was, like, that ring sword right there, I got 300 sized rings. That is too good. That's simply too good. That is simply too good, and I do not think it should be a thing in the game at the moment. See, right now, boom, ring swipe. It's a little too good. It simply just is. I think that's a little unbalanced. Amy's tarot cards can also do that? That's crazy. That's crazy. That Amy skin is really cute. And again, and this is a personal complaint, this is not a complaint that will be a thing when this game is live. I currently cannot buy anything in this game, because the game is outside of my region. I only have access on my phone because I made a Philippines account on my phone. And then I got early creator access on Steam. Steam doesn't have microtransactions at the moment, you cannot buy. And I cannot buy on my Philippines account either because Apple forbids it, and if I try to do it from my normal account, it just says this product is not live in your country. Which means, if I miss out on this skin, I'm gonna cry. Because I really want a Sir Percival skin, but I can't get it right now, and it's kind of frustrating. I wish I could. And red star rings are not easy to come by. So, you know, also Evan, I forgot to share the game on Discord, so there you go.
Heck yeah.
Confused. See, that confused Chow is like my thoughts on this update a little bit exactly. It's good. It's good. I think it's a good update, especially Cityscape and Sweet Mountain have incredible remixes that literally I saw clips of people putting them in Mario Kart 8. And dude, it's like Mario Kart 8 had an official Sonic collab. It sounds exactly like Mario Kart, and I feel like that's a pretty good thing, like especially for a game like this. It's fantastic. I think Mario Kart 8 has an amazing soundtrack, and I think it's very fitting for this game. And the stages themselves are very fun to play. So I think that is the highlight of this update. Sweet Mountain and Cityscape, very good. Very good stuff. Very good stuff. Skills and everything a little weird, but you know, we'll see.
They're trying really, really, really hard on this game, and I wonder why. Like, do you think this game's gonna be huge?
I think this game could be... I don't think it can be huge. And I kind of want to make a review on this game, like as a video at some point. Maybe right before the global release or soon enough. But here's what here's the worst thing I have to say about this game, right? Like the absolute worst. And it is something that I cannot highlight as a bad thing. I have to highlight it as an unfixable thing. It can't change. And I think mostly everyone agrees. And it might be this game's downfall. It's the art style. It's that simple. It's that simple. It's unfixable. It's good. It looks good. But for a game like this, I should, like, people want, especially in Sonic, dude, in gacha games and in Sonic by extension and in free mobile games by extension, do you know what people want? They want cool things. They want cool skins. They want things that make you look really cool. And I do not think... Like, this Captain Shadow looks cute, and there's some cool skins in this game. Quote-unquote cool. But they'll always be held back by the fact that this is a tiny little chubby Shadow. And it'll be in a tiny little chubby Sonic. This art style is unfixable. You can't do much to fix it, because it's just the way it is. And it's not about art style, it's just not cool. And I feel like that's an incredibly big miss. Incredibly big miss for this game. Like, look at that emote. Do you see how they have Sonic with Excalibur sword and stuff? Like, that looks cool. But it's a small, tiny Sonic. And the Sonic that you're gonna control in game, Excalibur Sonic, is gonna be small as well. It's gonna be small and chubby. And you you can't go around that. It's just not cool. It's cute, but it's not cool. And I do feel like that is this game's biggest miss, and I feel like the more people play this game, the more people agree. I think this art style should not have been the pick. Whatsoever. I understand.
I wonder what made them go for it.
I don't know. Oh, I kind of wanted to hit that Metal Sonic and I could have gone in first place, but that's fine. I don't know, but it's just a little weird. Also, hi Sophie. Hello, Mr. See that Metal Sonic thing can hit me. See, that was an emote before, and now it's a skill. Also, check out this somersault. Awesome, right? Fucking love it. Hell yeah. But yeah, it's just weird. It's just a very weird choice that I think their thought process was, this is gonna appeal to a lot of kids. Which, fair enough. But I don't know if this was the correct call. For the long run of this game, for the longevity's sake. Is it, like, awful? No, like, it's not a bad art style. This game, if anything, it's an escape from default Sonic model, right? It's an escape from default Sonic stock render. But I just don't think this is the way to go. And I think what probably led to this is, okay, what games are popular in this style? Number one, Fall Guys, obviously the originator of this entire style. And then Stumble Guys, which is Fall Guys copycat that is very, very big because it's free and it was on phones before Fall Guys was on phones. I actually don't even know if Fall Guys is on phones now. I think it might be, but Stumble Guys is the original copy of Fall Guys on the phone that went mass appeal. And you look at those games and they're very cute. They're very cutesy games. So I think that's probably the decision behind that. I just don't think with an IP such as Sonic, they should have gone for that. I don't think so. I really don't think so. It is a break from Sonic the Office co-worker. I hate that you're right. Oh, I tackled someone. That's funny. Oh, bum. I hate that you're right, but you're right. Boom. Oh my god, okay, see, that hit 2 people. That's kind of insane. That dive kick. It is a break from Sonic the Office co-worker. But I don't think it was the way to go, but here we are. It's not a make or break, I don't think, but it's just also not... why would you spawn a bomb in front of me? I just don't think it's what they should have done. But maybe they can prove me wrong and they can release the sauciest Sonic I've ever seen with a ton of aura. And it's in this chibi style and I'm like, oh my god, it's so cool. Maybe, right? Like, I still have yet to see what they're gonna do. But I just don't think... It's playing to Nintendo funny platform aesthetics, and so it gets Nintendo funny platform appeal. Yeah, that too. It's mass appeal, right? But I feel like this mass appeal, when it comes to Sonic, I think this is a realization that Sega, I thought, had come to already. And maybe it's a byproduct of... Maybe this game was in development too close to Frontiers to realize this. But Frontiers is as successful as it is for many reasons, but also because it just appeals to Sonic is so cool. Sonic is so Goku sometimes. He's so cool and anime and raw that we love it. And this game is just so the polar opposite of that. It's kind of insane. Like, how do you manage to succeed from Frontiers so much? And then you 180. Hard to say. This shit never coming out in Expo? Yeah. It'll come out at some point. At some point. Ow, not the goo. Not the purple goo that I dislike.
This shit's not coming out ever just because of Expo.
Yeah, if Expo says it's not coming out, then it must be true.
Sega is avoiding you specifically.
They don't like you, Expo. They don't like you. Can we please hit them one? Dude, see, this is targeted. That was targeted. Like, people see the content creator icon, never mind the fact that I'm first in the match, so people would naturally target me. But yeah, that right there was a targeted attack, man, at my persona. It's because I'm Spanish or a content creator. It's like either one. Also, shout out to the Sonic Unleashed sound effect present in this mode when you break them Y. Let me get an ult. I want an ult too, so I can target someone. See, boom, targeted, boom. I'm second, and I do not want to be second. I want to be first. Like, that's my problem right now. Sophie is winning by quite a few rings, and I don't like that. See, like, these should not be Moais. You know what these should be? They should be Tower from Sonic Frontiers.
Far too Sega for you is like, see, this game pisses me off so much when I see it. I don't even think I want to play it when it launches.
That's crazy.
Right?
That is nuts.
That's what I'm thinking is, like, it's gotta piss people off to, like, just not be able to play it when it looks so done.
Yeah. Daki haters have no chill. They don't. They don't. I swear there's people out there, they see me and they just want to ult me. Sophie, I have an issue with you, buddy. Just want to let you know. Also, by the way, I just want to shout out real quick. We made a Sonic. This is a new thing in the update as well. There was a crew update, so we made a Tails channel crew, and we instantly filled it up. So shout out to everyone that joined. Love you guys. Thank you for being in the Tails channel crew. Love it. I have absolutely no interest in this game. I get it. That's the thing. I get it. I would say the same, but then I play this game and I have fun. I genuinely have fun. That's kind of, if I want to be cynical, I'd say that's the worst part, and if I want to be how I usually am, which is not cynical, that's the best part. I love that I play this game and I have fun, especially probably later when I can play with more people. But it's making so many things to make people not want to play it. Also, there's an update that they dropped, and this is such a minor thing, but they listened to us. We were complaining that we do not like how the backgrounds are blurred here. They literally, in this update, made it so you can go to settings, and you can go to graphics, right? And you can be like, okay, I do not want the background without the blur in the menus. So then the game resets. You have a quick data download, I think 30 megabytes. Okay, it's 30 megabytes on phone and 300 megabytes on PC, I guess, because I'm playing at 4K. But you download it and suddenly this looks significantly better because it doesn't have that stupid blur in the background. Looks significantly better like this, I think. But it's probably a good option to those of you who don't want to spend too much phone size on your phone. That's fair enough. But I do much prefer that look without the blur. Like, it really is one of those things that I think you guys will be able to play this game and you'll be like, wait, this is kind of fun. And it is! It is kind of fun. I just wish there was... I wish it was more fun, and I wish the game didn't look like this. But I guess that's why the game is being delayed. To give you guys... You guys need to understand, first impressions on a phone game like this are so important, that if you guys were to play this game now, and you're like, fuck, this kind of sucks, or this is not as polished as I thought it was gonna be, you might uninstall the game and never look back. That's why it's so important in the US market and in most of the European market, which is basically the regions where this game is not out. Again, in Spain I cannot really play this game. I just have exclusive access, thankfully. It's important for those first impressions to be like, okay, this is fun and this is good. Like, it's very important. So these delays make sense, especially after these skills. Which reminds me, let's take a look at these skills, right? So here you used to have emotes and everything, which here they're here now, right? And these emotes would give you some score that they essentially don't give you now. But see, you have these skills. They go up to level 5, and there's some unique to the character. For example, crossed arms is unique to Shadow. You have bubbles, which apparently is a skill now. This used to be an emote. It's a skill now. Let's see what it does. It levitates. It gives you invincibility. So then at level 2, you had longer levitation. At level 3, you had a shorter cooldown. Level 4, you get cooldown for subsequent uses minus 10 seconds. Then level 5, a longer levitation. And at level 6, cancel skill by jumping. Okay. And yes, the game is free to play. It is free. It is free. But those first impressions, again, are very, very important. This, to me, is the most... This skill, I'm gonna level it up because it's too good. It's too good. Ring sweep is crazy. It's crazy. Let's see what I got. So no enhancements at level 1, absorption range up, shorter cooldown, cooldown minus 10 seconds for subscription users, more range, and then cancel escape by jumping level 6, but I don't think you can level 6 it, so I'm not sure. Oh yeah, right, so you get +1 level, I think. I think it tells you here. The skill gets a +1 level if it's in one of your preferred slots for that specific game mode. Which means that in ring battle, this will be level 6. Because it's technically level 5, but it'll get a +1 because it's in my preferred slot. So, and yes, I am being part of the problem, because being part of the problem means they nerf this. And Evan is in the background, he's just not saying much right now. Evan, they want you.
I have a lot to say. I just don't have a lot of positive things to say.
But
I can.
You should go ahead. Go ahead.
It does add to what you were saying. Like the whole art style discussion. I think it's like, and we kind of hit the nail on the head earlier, like when the chat was, involved too, right? Talking about how it's just kind of following trends. But like, I don't know, I can kind of even connect it back to a conversation we had forever ago when we last streamed this game, where we were talking about what I always end up talking about, the voice, the lower pitched kind of Roger Craig voice.
Yeah.
I think I just don't like any decision that, in my view, is part of Sonic's unique aesthetic. And so, like, GTA 6 trailer just came out recently, right? And everybody's like, oh my god, it's Roger, and Roger's normal voice is basically what he did in Frontier.
It wasn't Roger, that's the funniest part.
No, I know it wasn't, but the fact that people think that is like, wow, just some guy that's in a game that's as realistic as you can possibly get is a similar voice, like even the fact that it's even in the conversation. Is a cartoon blue hedgehog, like it's the same voice, like, so just apart from bias, I want to plug it back into anything that's unique. So when it comes to this game, we talk about Fall Guys, we talk about all these other games in reference to this, and it kind of just uses Sonic stuff, which part of me is happy, right? This is part of the excitement. This is part of the excitement of Sonic succeeding right now. So like with the movie and everything, I'm happy. But I realized I didn't have anything to say besides that. This game is clearly not. It's the opposite. It's not for Sonic fans.
No.
It's to introduce new Sonic fans.
Yes.
Sonic.
Yes.
And the reality is that when people have a game like this, that can be like a entry point, when Sonic then does more uniquely Sonic things, they are more receptive to it. So, but because of that awareness on my end, right, that I feel that way, I realize I'm like, there's not much else I can really say. Like, this game is not for me. And so when Sonic does uniquely Sonic things, I'll have something to say about it. Like, for example, when Dream Team was announced, and that's, like, even from the first announcement trailer when we first saw gameplay, that's obviously a new take on 3D Sonic. So I was all over that.
Yeah.
Right?
And Sonic Dream Team is so good. It's so good. Like playing those levels is so fun, let me tell you.
Yeah, so stuff like that. It's like this game kind of, it's a platformer, and it deliberately makes choices to make it not like a Sonic game, because Sonic Superstars will tell you it's really hard to keep players close together when you're all moving at different speeds, depending on when exactly you jumped, when exactly you pressed down, when exactly you did what, on what exact angle. The exact thing that makes Sonic so dynamic and fun as a single-player experience with momentum is exactly why a multiplayer experience is really tricky.
Yeah.
Because there are so many different directions and variables you can be sent in.
Yeah, and I
that means that all the players that go in all those different directions are having a different, unique, individual experience apart from each other.
To me, the most disappointing part about this game, like when I first played this game, the most disappointing thing was like, literally the first level this game throws you into to teach you stuff. You have a very big downhill slope, and you're like, holy shit, will I roll? And they slide down. And they just kind of slide down awkwardly with no control. It's kind of like a, like Sonic logic does not apply. It does not. It doesn't. So I'm gonna stomp
and
on
that's
people.
intentional. Like I think, like I don't know. Like I feel like younger Sonic fans, I've seen that come up in places where it doesn't fit.
Wow!
Like, because this is player interaction is what they're trying to do, right? What just happened to you as I was talking about it? That's what they're trying to get.
Yeah.
And like, as fantastic as Sonic Battle R is, it has that problem where I barely see other players.
Yeah.
No matter how many players are in the game.
Yeah.
And so this game needs to exist. I'm happy for it, and I agree with you that it'd be cool if it had a uniquely Sonic aesthetic.
Yes.
But I realize that anything... I'm here to talk about Sonic. And so things like Sonic Cross Worlds, you know, it's got Sonic elements, but not really much to talk about.
Yeah, and again, I want to be like as much as I have a lot of like negative things about this game. It's like I promise you, it's not like just because I'm an official content creator for this game doesn't mean like I don't get paid for it. They don't tell me to hold back my opinions. They just tell me you have early access to things, so you can showcase it. Boom, like literally all. This game, like again, I wish I could pull it up right now, but I'm in the middle of the match. But when this game was like announced, I literally said, and I will say it word for word because I do not want to mince my words. I said, if the new Sonic mobile game has an aesthetic similar or exactly like Sonic and Friends, where it's really cutesy, I am going to kill myself.
I remember you.
Word for word, that was a tweet that I made. Yeah. And lo and behold, what is this? What is this?
I remember seeing you say that, and I'm like, dude.
What is this?
Because it's, I don't know, because of what I said earlier, right? It just felt so clear.
Yes.
That it wasn't going to be for Sonic fans. Like,
yep.
I've always wondered how a multiplayer, authentically Sonic experience would go. Like, that's... And, like, I think Sonic Team has been aware of it since the beginning, right? That's why, like, linearity got introduced, like, reintroduced into Sonic so quickly after finally opening things up.
Yep.
When they finally could. Like, SA2 immediately kind of, like, brings things back in.
Yep.
Or, like, Heroes, where you have other characters to tag along. Like,
yep.
There have always been things where they're like, shit, we need these characters to interact more. Chow, for example, right? Like, oh, the Chow multiplayer will work. That'll get players, like, families together.
Yeah, absolutely. But no, like again, that was like my first like take on that game, on this game, and I was like, damn, okay, already like worst case scenario for me is real, like straight up. But then I play this game, and like I kind of like hate to say it, and I love to say it at the same time. I have a good time. Like, I kind of, like, when, again, right now, let me list stuff. I'm pretty big on mobile games. Like, I somehow, like, sometimes still hop on Sonic Dash just to get some skins. I play Sonic Forces Speed Battle here and there just to get some cool skins. I play Dokkan Battle, a Dragon Ball mobile game, and I play Zenless Zone Zero, a mobile gacha game that's also available in all consoles, whatever. And then I have this game on rotation as well. I'm like, I still, again, because you have this ring limit every day, right? That you can get up to 16,000 rings every day. I think this gets increased to 32,000 if you get Sonic Rumble Plus, which is a monthly subscription for like $2. Again, I cannot buy it unfortunately at the moment. But it's like, okay, I'll at least hop on every day and I'll do a round, which usually doing a round already fills up this ring limit. I'll do my due diligence every day in this game because I kind of have fun every time I play it. It's even as much as I say it's not Sonic enough, then I get thrown into Green Hill, I get thrown into Silent Forest, I get thrown to Desert Ruins, now Cityscape, now Sweet Mountain, like all of these various things that are Sonic, and it's kind of fun, and they have these cool remixes, and you know, like it has things going for it. I promise you that much. It just has also a lot that I wish was a little better / more polished / entirely different. You play those infuriating mobile game ads when you're bored? Oh my lord. I think the things with me about mobile games, like I like the collection aspect a lot. I like to be a collector of mobile games. So that's why, as much as Sonic Dash is boring as hell, I hop in sometimes just to get the latest skin and then be done with it until the next one releases. Same with Sonic Forces and all that. It's like this game, I will say, at the very least, gives me more as an experience than Sonic Dash and Sonic Forces Speed Battle, because those games are like, again, auto runners, and you get cool characters and okay,
yeah,
that's
and
fine
that's
enough.
why this game needs to exist.
Yes.
Those games, they had a good run, but like mobile games have evolved so much.
Yeah, we're
Sonic
over
Dash,
that. We're over that. We're over that. Way over that.
It needed a new game.
And this is exactly that.
Everybody could play.
That's
Is it
why I
crossplay?
wish.
think you answered this question already.
Yes, this is crossplay.
Yeah, that makes sense then.
That's why this game is it's very fun. Can I dash through it? Okay, cool. Actual good use of a skill there. That's why this game is important that it exists, and why I wish so badly that it looked different. Oh god, I've helped. But it is what it is. I've learned to kind of, make peace with it. With how it looks and its overall like aesthetic. See, there's one thing that I hate. Oh, okay, yeah. Falling is one thing that I hate. But another one thing that I hate is like, see, you start falling and you start sliding like this. Oh, how much I wish it was rolling and it gave you more speed, but oh well. That would just give it that Sonic touch, but again, what can you do?
But yeah, it goes fundamentally against like what the game is trying to do.
Mm-hmm. Yep, indeed.
It's interesting. I don't know how they would do a momentum-based multiplayer game with as much player interaction as something like this has.
Yeah,
keeping everybody close together.
Yeah, close to each other. How many V-Bucks is the rainbow name? The rainbow name you get by getting skins, I believe. In this season, like in every season, it resets every season, and as long as you get enough skins, you get the rainbow name. Which again, I'm not even sure I will be able to get it in this season because I can't get things in this game at the moment. I'll keep highlighting it because it's one of the things that, man, I kind of wish I could drop a few bucks in this game. I want Sir Percival, I'm a big Blaze fan, I want that skin, and I can't. Yeah, see, that's fair, Fallen Star. You like the way this looks because it's nice to see a Sonic with a new wax out. 100%. And the moment they drop another Sonic mobile game, for example, by Hardlight or maybe by another subsidiary of the Rovio team that is working on this game, that goes full into the cool aspect, my reasoning about this game not looking different is thrown out the window. Like,
Wait,
it's circumstance.
I have a funny thing that makes your point too. So why is it? So I hear you, the Fallen Star. I agree with you too. I like if it was just a reused model again, like basically the same modern Sonic model we've always seen of all the characters. Yeah, it would look worse in my opinion.
Yeah.
But what is funny to me, as I was like reading that, I was like, wait a minute. How come for a game that clearly needs the direction of like kind of cuter and like toy-like? How come we get all new models for everybody? But in the next big Sonic game, that's clearly way more serious and dreary, it's just all the same fucking models, just slightly tweaked. The same models they used in something like Lost World, who has a similar aesthetic to this game.
Mm-hmm. Yep, very much so.
That's what I'm talking about. So
Yeah.
You know what? All the models can exist. I think it just bothers me when it's like out of context. Like, imagine you probably have experienced some mods in Sonic Frontiers that make Sonic look a little bit more intense.
Mm-hmm. Many.
Just imagine those Supersonic scenes with that, which
Yeah.
you don't have to because you can use those mods.
Yeah.
But it just fits better. It just, I don't know. The only word I can use to describe the models is they look doughy. Like they look all like
Yeah.
just too soft and rounded when they don't need to be. And something like Lost World, it looks fine. And something like Cross Worlds, it looks fine. And something like this, it even looks fine. But Shadow Generations, for example, we could have used with a more intense Shadow model. The animation's really good, but the hands is where you see it the most. Just imagine being able to see the intensity. If you don't know what I mean, then just look at like 2D fan art of Shadow just doing any kind of like attack or punch.
Mm-hmm.
You can just see more of the detail in the fist. And Shadow Generations, you can't tell when his hand is flexed versus when it's loose.
Yep.
And I think that's really important for a character like Shadow, who's always handing out fisticuffs.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Totally agree.
But yes, it is nice to see like a new art style, and it's their big new game. It's just not in the direction that obviously excites me. But that's the thing. That's why I chose not to make like minute discussions really on it.
Yeah.
I'll probably end up doing it, but that's why I don't like jump to it.
Yeah.
Like you'll probably see me upload a lot faster if it's like the next main Sonic game, which holy crap.
No, yeah, I mean,
it might be pretty
absolutely.
soon.
Yeah. Absolutely.
What, it's the 35th anniversary soon?
Yeah.
We are soon going to be in the news cycle of the next main Sonic game.
Cannot wait for that, honestly.
God.
Looking forward to it. I should ring swipe here. Oh, I don't know why I'm not doing that. Boom. Shit, that's so OP. That is so OP.
I almost agree with you, Fallen Star. I think I'm going to stick to my point in that context matters, right? I don't think
context super matters.
There's no one opinion that's a catch-all, and I think that's why the discussion is never ending. That applies to so many discussions, by the way. But I think the model discussion is kind of like that too, where it's like, if the game is cutesy, then we don't need detailed hands. What the hell is that doing there? Like,
yeah.
Why?
Absolutely.
Like, so I think it's just like, I don't know. Let whoever is in the room of the game direction that is saying that Sonic's look needs some touch up for the story's sake or the gameplay's sake, let them speak more, just a little bit more. I don't know how else to say it. Like, it's obviously somebody who's cutting costs when the model is just completely the same. And I can hear the argument. Like, it's a reasonable argument. Like, but do we really have to polish Shadow's hands? I get it. Like, it seems like such a small detail. But, like, it goes a long way. Like, think about how often you use your hands in your life. Think about how you would feel if your hands just fell off.
What the hell?
Like, I'm just saying, like, hands are one of those things that you don't...
I love hands.
They're, like, seamless. They're so part of who you are.
Yeah.
You emote with them, you interact with the world, you feel with them. That people, I think, take them for granted. And I think that that applies to... like, this conversation,
the
too,
record,
like,
sorry.
the doughy hands, they're just not a big deal.
Yeah, so Jarek's like, let the record show Daki just lost to a Charmy. Dude, that is like 1 to a billion, dude. Like, the 7-year-old little kids that like Charmy, I eat them for breakfast, man. I kill them in this game. Just kidding, I don't do that. But it's one Charmy. One Charmy. I'm not giving you the satisfaction of more. Next time I see a Charmy, I'm focusing them. I'm bringing their downfall. Sorry, I cut you off, Evan. But the Charmy agenda is cannot. I can't let it spread. I can hear Izuka arguing with management over budget from you. I think so they could give us the same release for Crossword as this. I'm so excited for Crossword, guys. I am so excited because we'll finally have a game that, as long as their servers are capable, which I have a good hunch that they will, we can all play no matter the console. You can be on PS4, PS5, Nintendo Switch, PC, Xbox One, Xbox One, whatever the hell model. We can all play. And that's exactly what we all wanted out of Team Sonic Racing. But the servers died the first day on Steam because they didn't work. So now we get what Team Sonic Racing should have been years later.
It was also upstaged by Crash Team Racing.
That too, but I don't think...
I bet you they just didn't really consider that game.
Yeah, no, I don't think that would have happened if Team Sonic Racing again was in a much better spot. Like, Crash or not. It needed so much more Team Sonic Racing that it just didn't get. It's a shame. Please don't... Okay, I'm good.
I thought for sure Crash would really, like, take off, but it just kind of, like... Crash 4 did well, but, like...
Yeah, no,
what's going on? Crash now?
I just think it has its fans, but it just doesn't have the mass market appeal that... And this is where you realize how lucky we are, Sonic fans, that the two platform mascots that have mass market appeal to this day are Mario and Sonic. Like, that's it. And... what? Okay. And we're very lucky. Very lucky that this is the case. Did you really just do that? Dude. I feel so targeted in this game all the time, man. All the time. What's that fourth? Sure. But yeah, Crash, yeah, I hear Crash 4 was really good. I hear Crash Stick Racing was really good. And then, yeah, that didn't really amount to much, it seems. Which is unfair. Crash looks gross. I kind of get it. No, he looks gross in the game that I'm seeing its art cover right now, because I have it on a shelf. The PSP games, the Crash, Mutant Titans, and those two, like this spin-offs, quote unquote, that they did, where they redesigned them and gave them tattoos and stuff. That Crash looks gross. I think Crash 4 Crash looks pretty good though. I played a lot of Crash when I was growing up, but yeah, I just never, it was fun, it was cool. But that's about it. You think they kind of missed the mark by not having X-Gen's DLC? Yes and no. Yes, and I think it would have been really nice to have. But no, as in I don't really think it's necessary, and I don't think it's like yeah, it would have given us a few more stages to play. But I don't think it would have been like this massive deal. Like it wouldn't have been Final Horizon levels of like the Sonic Frontiers updates, right? Of big deal. I don't think Sonic Shadow Generations has the draw that Sonic Frontiers had, even though it is by all means much more polished and in a lot of fronts better game. But the hype behind it and the oh my god behind it is just not the same. Not the same at all. Can I okay, let's check. Can I tank this robot crossing my arms? I can! Crazy.
Yo.
Crazy.
What the fuck?
I can.
Wait, was the Knuckles just punching him? That's cool.
Yeah, the Knuckles just, but punching him I don't think does anything.
See, when I was playing this,
I'm gonna stomp these people.
You couldn't do any of this shit. Crazy.
Yeah, no, this is 2 days ago. Ow! Who did this? Scream! But see, that can actually save you. Like that invincibility can actually save you. Wanna know what else is massive? Your mom? What the fuck? Chad, what are you doing right now? Running the 3DS stages to base is gonna work. That is true though. But that is the same. What was it? That's the same as original Sonic Generations when it came out. Here's some DLC. It's Carnival Night. Oh my god, Carnival Night from 3DS. Never mind, it's pinball. Same kind of criminality. The cross arms parry, dude. In Frontiers 2, that's how Shadow should parry. Crosses his arms. Does Tails have a flying move? If you equip it to him, yes. And it's exclusive to him, so yes. I can try that. I actually haven't tried many character exclusive skills. Would you guys want me to check out the Tails one? If I have it. Big chance I don't. This hub was pretty whack. Not every people fake boats to vest against Nintendo Sonic. I think the Sonic Frontiers hub was really cool. It's an era that I look back fondly, especially because I'm a big fan of that game. Again, yes, it sucked when the whole Genshin Impact thing. We went against the gacha community. That was bound to get toxic no matter what. But other than that's besides the point for me. Ring swipe. Move. Can we homing attack, please, for God's sake? Thank you. Okay, Magnet is always really good. Let's hit these things. 1, 2, 3. That one is broken, unfortunately. I'm gonna ring swipe right over here. There we go. Get balloon, balloon, Moai, Moai thing. Another Moai thing hit. Boom, 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 boom. Can I ring swipe in the air? I don't think so. Ring swipe. I can ult. I'm gonna ult this guy. I'm flip-flopping between first and second right now. I really would love to get... Let's ult this person. He ults me back. Fair enough. Moai? Okay. Yeah, that was just uncalled for. That just made me go to third. Unfortunate. Unless he flies in some way, that's fine for me. I really hide when I can fly still, so I get it. Because if you play as Tails, you would like to fly. Yes, I get it. But yes, he can fly. I'm gonna check if I can. Tails should have an emote that's actually a skill where he throws a wrench. He should. I think those wrenches from Frontiers are the funniest thing that's ever happened to Tails. They're so weird. But so awesome.
They should reference like how quickly he can throw a shit ton of them all
yeah.
at once. Like.
Tails in 3, like, he can always just throw shit, right? Like, in Sonic 06, he throws rings. That is extremely confusing. And in Frontiers, he throws wrenches. He's always throwing stuff, this guy. Okay, let me check. So, here we have Tails. I do have a Topaz Tails skin, I guess. Which we can equip. And let's see, for his skills... I do have the Tails Copter. So we can equip it, and I'm gonna try to level it up as much as I can. I might not be able to level up. Yeah, okay. So yeah, I can't any further than this. It gave me a short cooldown though. So I can get that for him, at least. So we can have the Tail Sculptor, and I guess we can have... I kind of really like the Air Dash. The Air Dash is one of my favorites, honestly. So I think I'm gonna go with that for now. Where's the auto skill button? I know there's an auto skill button, I just don't see it. I'm gonna level up the skin a little bit too. Now you use wrenches for everything. I like that they streamlined this process. You used to not use wrenches for everything. Everything had a different currency, and they streamlined everything into one currency, which I do appreciate. I think that is much better. Significantly better, even. That's about all the skills I have, yeah. I guess we can go with... what, like... I guess I can use Froggy, why not? Oh, I have a cool Metal Sonic emote now. I'm gonna use that. And as for emotes for Tails, again, I don't really... Again, I had a lot more emotes, but a lot of those emotes that were, like, rare and stuff, they're now skills, so... Now it appears like I just don't have emotes anymore. Do I have anything that I would like to give Tails? I like that pre-match pose. Probably like his default win emote, so I'm probably just gonna stick to that. And then I do not have a specific grind for him now, so okay, we'll go with this. Is Froggy pogging? Poggy. Poggy is crazy. The Pog Frog. I do think he's pogging, yes.
I love how still he is. He's not even animated.
Yeah, no, he's just a body. He's just there. Froggy might always be in a default state of pogging if you think about it. I think so. I don't think Froggy emotes in any significant way. By the way, the remix to this chemical plant is still one of my favorite tracks in this game. The soundtrack to this game, it has the same Sonic Runners thing where we're gonna be like, wow, like this mobile game actually had an amazing soundtrack, and this completely applies to this game. A lot of the Sonic Runners aura is back in this game, which I think is something really cool.
That's true. They did have a different art style for runners, slightly.
Yeah.
Where they were all kind of chubby.
Yeah. Indeed. Again, they all take from Lost World. They all take from Lost World, all of them. Okay, so can we use the Tailcopter to do this? No. No. Maybe I could have jumped and then used it? I have this dive kick, which maybe is good here? I don't know. Amy, I'm coming for you. I know you have a shield. Oh, you don't anymore. You don't anymore, you know what that means. Ow. If I can get to you, you know what that means. Sorry. Oh! She tried to Pico Hammer me. It didn't hit though. Okay, let's see if we can Tail Sculptor, jump in Tail Sculptor when it makes sense to. I don't want to waste it. What the hell? Tail Sculptor. No, I don't think you can do it while jumping. It does give you a good boost though. See? That was a pretty good boost. Let's hit him once. And then I'll just ult to quickly finish this. Alright. We got the first. Nice. Sonic Runners and Rumble have such a banger OST, and then Dream Team is the most generic. Yes! Dude, I do not know what they were thinking with the Dream Team one. They got the weirdest part is they got the guy, I believe, that did the Doom soundtrack of all fucking things. Doom, for God's sake! And he did, like, I think it was like, okay, what's a Sonic soundtrack? He looked on Google, he looked at a few things, and then did the most generic thing you can think of. It's insane. Insane. Incredible. But again, these remixes are coming straight from Sonic Team, I'm pretty sure. So, I mean, that makes sense. Like, just like Runners, right? Like, Runners and Rumble have a lot of, like, Sonic Team people, and it definitely shows in the soundtrack. In an interview for Sonic Runners, Izuka was asked why they made Sonic close shirt, and he said it was to make him look like classic Sonic. I mean, yeah, that makes sense. I can see that. In Sonic Runners, it doesn't bother me. It's whatever.
Blinky asks my take on Kirk's acting performance in Shadow Gens. I don't really have too big of a problem with Kirk. I've talked about it in my own videos on Sonic voice actors. There's 2 videos I have on it. Mostly in the second one, I elaborate on it. But I think over time, like, I remember being younger and really fixating on each actor. But you know what? In ways, I'm grateful that Roger kind of has a really different take nowadays, introduced in Frontiers. Because for once, the conversation can be about approach and not actor. At least in a bigger way. Because it's such a massive direction shift in terms of pitch. So with that in mind, like, my kind of whole stance on all of the actors is that it's a big part for me is, of course, the voice acting industry works. Like, they get professionals most of the time, and their speech quality is fine, and, like, they know how to act for the most part, right? Like, things have evolved. It's a lot better than back in the day for video games. However, the problem now is casting. And I think that's why the Sonic discussion is so tricky. Because Sonic as a series has kind of archived the evolution of just voice acting in gaming in general. And even in the West, right? Voice acting has evolved much slower in the West. So things are better now. But now your problems are you get generic voices. And that's what we have with Studiopolis and the current cast that we have. Which is why the discussion is really tricky. Because you've got, like, old people like me who are from the era where voices were like, it's a mixed bag of talent and direction. There's always another problem. Now it's everybody's professional, everybody's vetted, everybody knows what they're doing. And now it just becomes about what do you know about Sonic, right? And unfortunately, when the voice acting industry locked in and started to make sense, Sonic was really insecure.
Yep.
So long story short, Kirk sounds good. He's just, like, even in Shadow Gens, like, he sounds good. He's good at what he does. It's just, I don't know. I think, I do like Roger. Kirk's one of my favorite. I really like David Humphrey. It's really, but for whatever reason, Jason Griffith's Shadow just was so iconic. I think Jason really, really nailed something. Really unique. I don't know why. It is just like a dark, raspy thing, but I think combined with the thing I tend to roast Jason for in Sonic, the kind of da-da-da-da-da. He does it with Shadow too.
Yeah.
But whether it was a habit or a choice, he does it in Shadow and Sonic, so I'm leaning on habit. But for Shadow, it works a lot for me. I just really loved the dynamic cadence that Jaleel White and Ryan Drummond had with Sonic. So when it becomes a little bit more monotonous, it doesn't suit Sonic's playful energy for me. But in terms of monotonous, that fits Shadow, right? Calculated and more predictable. And
Absolutely.
Again,
Absolutely.
I'm getting artsy fartsy with it. So I prefer Jason because it's a more level-headed, consistent rhythm with his cadence. Kirk is more dynamic, similar to David Humphrey, where he kind of bounces around in tonality a lot.
Absolutely.
The texture is less raspy and gruff, like it's a little less like angry. But yeah, overall I prefer Jason. So it all comes down to vocal qualities now, right? Or personal direction. So the Roger discussion is interesting with that too, right? So the Rogers discussion is interesting because I think the reason people like Roger's voice lower is because he sounds more natural.
Absolutely.
Which
Absolutely
Sonic needs to sound natural because things like Sonic in only very rare circumstances needs to feel like he's putting in a lot of effort. It's part of his character that he's like free flowing and go with the flow and letting it happen as it goes.
Yeah, absolutely.
They reserve that tension that Sonic experiences for very unique moments. So I think that's why when Roger does a higher pitched voice, it's still divisive. Because again, he's a good voice actor, speech quality, all of that, great. Knows how to act, great. But it is more of a strain. More of a strain to get there for him.
Yep.
So then, without the vocabulary, the consumer reaction is, oh, that sounds less natural than Jason or Ryan. Because it just, for whatever reason, their vocal placement, it was just more natural for them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no,
so
absolutely.
Kirk sounds natural. Kirk sounds natural. It sounds good.
I think
it seems like a different direction.
My very short take on this is that I think one of my favorite shadows overall is the one in Sonic Prime. He might be my favorite shadow.
To Kirk, though.
Yeah,
he's similar to Kirk and David Humphrey. He
yeah.
falls in that category, which I like.
Yep.
I like.
The thing is, in Sonic the Shadow Generations, in that game, and then in Shadow Dark Beginnings, I listened to Kirk and I'm like, wow, that's good. Like, I think that's really good. He's again, I think I'm the same sense in 7 that we both really like him. But then I have the like when Sonic characters kind of were allowed to go more all out. And there is a scream, particularly in Sonic the Shadow Generations, where Shadow's like, he's being infused with all of the, Doom energy. And he starts having a Super Saiyan, essentially, transformation. And he lets out a scream. I think he sounds really good. Like, really good. But one of my favorite,
really
like...
really does.
Yeah. But one of my favorite lines of Shadow ever is playing as him in Black Knight. And when he goes, chaos, punishment, it's like, holy shit.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Oh,
Jason,
man. Oh,
I don't
man.
know. I really like...
Man. Oh, man,
I
that's
think,
good.
so, I'm going to state some facts, because we've been stating a lot of opinions, but this is facts. I'm not even, like, doing the meme type of facts, like, spelled with an X.
Yeah.
Like, the fact is that when Jason started, he literally was starting. Like, he was pretty new to the industry in general with Sonic. So... The cadence thing I was talking about before, it was probably a habit. Fair to assume and estimate that. That's where I'm stepping over the boundary of facts into opinion.
Right.
But I forget what I was going with this, to be honest. It was only a matter of time. I normally am pretty good at not losing the plot. It's been a while since I lost the plot there.
Bro, lost the plot.
But I was probably going to say a similar point. I think in the middle of it, I realized that it was the point I already made, which is just that the conversation is more than just, like, good, bad. Like, it's so dynamic. It's like there are some voices that are more experienced, but the casting is a little off.
Oh!
Or, like, their natural voice placement is, like, lower. Like, you just have to look at their resume, the roles they normally get. That's why I started with the whole GTA 6 thing, because honestly... when you look at Roger's resume, that's a role that his agent, if he has one or has one these days, his agent would probably give him that casting call, right? I mean, a good agent would be finding a lot of diverse ways to get Roger involved. And he probably does have a good agent because he has a good voice acting career. So that's probably how he got Sonic. However, I'm talking about when you're imagining, like, if you're gonna typecast someone or you have a very like rigid category you had to put people in, it's just a different category.
Yeah.
A different category type voice. So he does like Batman, Ezio, Chris Redfield, Captain America.
Yeah, I'm definitely, I wouldn't say I'm in the minority, because I think maybe it's a minority in the absolute like Sonic fandom, like the more extreme, hardcore part of it, but I am in the boat that I like Roger as Sonic, and I think he's a good fit. And I think again, as different as it may be from what came before and maybe how he sounds in Japanese, I find a lot of the same appeal in Roger as I find in Sean as Goku. It's very dissimilar to what his Japanese counterpart brings, like super dissimilar. It's not similar at all. But I hear Sonic, especially like in the latest era of Sonic, like where Sonic kind of is headed, and I think it's a good cast. Like, I don't know, I go into Crossworlds, I hear Roger say, "Hey guys," and I'm like, yeah, that's Sonic. He's chill. It sounds good. Like,
bringing up Goku is actually really good. Because, like, Sean is almost like if we got Roger right away.
Yeah.
Because Goku, they were trying to make Goku like Superman when they first introduced him over here. And I think people, in terms of authenticity, people were kind of rubbed the wrong way with that. And back then it fit because the writing kind of lined up with the casting. So you had that deeper, more masculine tone. But then I even remember being a kid and, like, totally raised on Dragon Ball Z, like, dubbed to hell and back, and, like, definitely with that Superman energy injected. And then going back and watching Dragon Ball and being like, wait a minute. I can totally see why this seems like a completely different character. Like, Goku is not like Superman, where, like, the hero of, like, justice, like, ally to good and nightmare to you. Like, when you think of, like, that funny speech he does as Super Saiyan to Frieza, and then like Kid Goku in Dragon Ball, it's like, that's not the same guy. So I think it feels the same for me, I think, with Roger, where it's like he sounds good. And Sean Shammel's great. Like, I love Sean Shammel. I grew up with him. But it's so different than what, like, I've grown to love the Japanese Goku, but I remember being that person where I'm like, why is it a grandma screaming for Japanese Goku? Like,
yeah.
That was me for a while, but then going through Dragon Ball Super and, like, having to watch that stuff in Japanese first, I slowly started to understand that, like, it's a really, like, interesting, like, countryside dialect of the Japanese language, and Goku's, like, this weird, like, kid from the forest that, like, is different and always stands out. Like, it fits so much better, and it's so much more interesting than, like, this guy's kind of like Superman.
Yeah, absolutely.
And unfortunately, with Sonic's success right now, when they double down on the lower take from Frontiers, even doing I saw somebody say this in the chat, a compromise with Crossworlds where he's a little bit higher. It doesn't sound bad to me. It just sounds like, oh, this guy kind of sounds like Captain America. Or this guy sounds kind of like Chris Redfield, like male protagonist that is comforting. Which is something you're familiar with and used to, which is fine. But again, just like when Sean was introduced in Dragon Ball Z, it's coming from a place of insecurity, right? Dragon Ball Z failed multiple times in America before it stuck the landing with Sean Schammel and Funimation. So I think it's perfect to bring up Sean Schammel for this discussion. I think that's why, like, and nobody wants to hear that. Something that they like is a choice that's just based on, like, familiarity. But, like, I don't know how else to say it. Like, there is one direction, not the band. There's a Sonic-y direction. There's a Sonic-y direction, and there's a direction that is good for as many audience members as possible. And Roger falls into one of those. And it sounds so rude, but like, I don't know how else to say it. Like, it's a casting thing. It's not his fault. And again, I might even be the old guy on the wrong side of history here, right? This game we're looking at is a game made for as many people to get excited about Sonic as possible. And what might happen in the future is that the voice thing doesn't matter. I'm biased. I studied acting. I studied script writing. I studied visual arts. Like, I hate that I should have stopped at studied voice acting. I have a bias to voice acting. So obviously I'm going to put an overemphasis on it. As Sonic as a whole, you know, obviously the gameplay is the most important. If you're having fun, it's the most important. If it's spreading the most joy as possible, that's the most important. But if you ask me what I think with the experiences that I have, how am I, that's what I'm always going to say.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And again, it's one of the things where, dude, again, it's impossible for me to be kind of biased towards a side because I was born in 2002, which means as I grew up, I went through everything. I went through Ryan, I went through Jason, and then when I had more of a, like, you know, when I was, you know, already kind of old enough to say, like, okay, I'm kind of a human being now, we had Sonic Colors, and that was with Roger. I've had them all, and if I really had to say, like, man, the one I really, really, really love the most deep down, that's probably Jason. I love Jason. He was there when I was growing up for Unleashed. He was there when I was growing up for Black Knight. I adored Secret Rings. I adored Black Knight. I adored Unleashed. I grew up on that. But then when I made the switch to Roger, you know, I kind of never noticed because, again, I was too young at that point to kind of, like, be like, oh, that is, like, so different, or, you know, I don't know, I was playing Colors because I really enjoyed, you know, the game. It was Sonic, and I really enjoyed it, but, dude, it's not, again, it's not coming from bias when I say it's like, damn, like, Roger is fine. Like, I do really think we have, a Sean situation where if we would have started with that, more people would be on this train, but I understand we didn't start there. And I understand it's kind of fair to say, since we didn't start there and the Japanese counterpart is so different, I understand why people say Roger is not particularly Sonic. I get it. I promise you I do. But I don't know.
The fact, like, my thing is, so the only thing I can say after the, like, I'm the old guy, this is just my take, I will say that considering how long this discussion has lasted, I don't think it's ever going away.
Yeah, no.
Especially, it would have gone away if they gave Roger the role in the movie.
Yep.
It would have been over.
Yep. But they did a younger Sonic.
A grip on it.
Yeah, but they did a younger Sonic, and they were like, nope.
And then the Sonic Prime separate casting, that's another one where it's like, it's not, this discussion is going on forever. And I'm sorry, but in my mind, even, what is it, Devin Mack? Even Devin Mack falls into the category. He's a nice compromise, but I still think like he has that, like, bouncy cadence and his higher, like, for example, Devin Mack is Roger's higher pitched Sonic voice if it was natural to his voice. If you listen to Devin Mack speak on his live streams, his voice is naturally higher.
Yep.
Just listen to his normal speaking voice. Then when you listen to Roger, it's beautifully bassy. It's so good for radio. Like, it's all chest. It's like if he was talking in the other room next to you, you would hear it and it would be like like vibrating the floor around him. Like, it's nice. It's soothing. He's got such a good voice. And like, it makes sense that it makes people feel good to listen to Roger talk. Not what I'm talking about, though. Devin Mack, listen to his speaking voice. It's higher. It's higher pitched. He's not going to make the floor vibrate. But, like, again, is Sonic that, like, big, heavier character like Knuckles that would have that bassier chest voice? Or is Sonic the kind of lighter on his feet? Like, I'm going to be the cringy Twitter people. Like the wind. You know what I mean?
God,
like,
it's
a little bit more
W mention, right? W word mention. Everyone scatter. But yeah, no, I get it. I totally get it. So many friend requests, guys. I wish I could add you all, but I think this game has a very limited friend list. Alright, let's check out some other skin. I mean, I've been doing a lot of Shadow. I've been doing a lot of... Do I have anyone that I may have their unique skill? Like, do I have Knuckles' unique skill? Let's check. Where are the skills? Here. I do have Volcanic Dunk. Let's go for it. Hey, why not? And let's do Bubbles. Let's level up Shadow.
Ultimate Speedy Faker. I want to. I know it's bait, but I'm gonna take it.
Well,
I'll take Roger as the best voice for Sonic. That's fine.
I mean, that's all bait. Like, that's fair, man. That's fair.
I think I just described why that take is completely fair. I think I just like to paint where the boundary is.
Yes.
So that the discussion can kind of happen without me. I've already decided how I feel about shit. Like, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
I'm just painting the boundary and being like, okay, good luck, everybody. Like,
no, again, I think it's just also a matter of, again, I said it before, so I don't want to like get too into it, but I feel like Roger is just a very good choice for Sonic, because Sonic, as he stands right now, he doubles as a mascot and as a character, and I kind of want to do that separation, because I feel like mascot implies he's going to be in a lot of different media, he's going to be in a lot of crossovers, he's going to be like, you know what I mean with a mascot, he's like the face, and Roger has a certain voice that is, I feel, is kind of fitting for that. It's cool, it sounds good.
Oh, wait, you're saying, you know what, I haven't heard anyone make that argument. You know what?
I mentioned a few things. I mentioned it a few times with you. Maybe I just never really...
Well, maybe I'm misunderstanding. Are you saying that it's good in many contexts?
Yes.
Like,
I think it's good in many contexts, yes.
So while you can negatively describe it as generic,
yes,
the positive side of that is that, yes, he's fitting in almost every situation.
And it's what I'll say as well. Like, when Roger does every single side character in regular show. But when they hear that voice, like, do you ever see people be like, oh, dude, that's the side character from regular show, or that's Batman? I mean, Batman sometimes, yeah, because that's a bigger role. But no, when that voice, that generic voice for the mainstream audience is Sonic the Hedgehog. That generic fucking voice is Sonic, dude. Like, we're at that point. It's been so long, it's been a decade. More than a decade that Roger has been doing Sonic. That generic voice, dude, it's Sonic. It's Sonic.
Like, Sonic's character as a whole obviously changes. Like people debate about the writing, like people...
Volcanic Dunk.
And you know what? I think that's making me realize that Roger, like...
Oh my god, I got the ball.
I don't know. I think that's a totally fair reaction. I think I'm realizing that what really drew me to Sonic to begin with was a very different personality and than what we're experiencing right now, right?
Yes.
And over time, it just becomes, like, in my view, it's a little bit more generic, and I mean, I'm obviously gonna like the things that are, like, I'm obviously gonna like the things in Sonic that are the reasons that I came to it in the first place. I don't know. Mm-hmm. It's hard for me. It's tricky because from classic Sonic to, like, even Adventure Sonic, I didn't have a problem with all those changes. I think things like Sonic Boom, though, and like Sonic Colors and Lost World is the crossing a line for me. And unfortunately, like, I don't know if it's just age, but, like, it's none of the choices are bad. It just feels a little bit more generic. And I think that's just getting older. I honestly, I'm almost confident and positive that it's going to happen to every Sonic fan at some point. That because Sonic is a brand that has to just, like, look at what the competition is doing, at some point, what drew you to Sonic will not be worth maintaining anymore. And I think that's what's happening to me, right? Like, a little bit more, like, words are limiting, right? So bear with me for a sec, but, like, I like a more, like, bouncy kind of like spunky Sonic. not exactly Jaleel White, like a little bit Ryan Drummond, but I think Jason did it a little bit. Jason was but a little bit calmer than Ryan, right? And then like Roger's even more chill. So it's like everyone's got a different
again,
kind of vibe
all of the Sonic eras have kind of just changed Sonic a little bit, and that's just what it is. Again, we had Jaleel White, right? Like, oh my god, I'm so 90s, and this is way past cool, and this is I'm juicing, you know? And then we had Ryan, which was like, also he was like going crazy on kind of a little bit on that aspect, but it was also at the same time just a little more chill. Like, oh yeah, I'm just the guy that loves adventure, I'm Sonic the Hedgehog, right? And then you had Jason, which, for as many cool moments as he had as well, I think mainly Jason, what he had was, dude, he was very therapeutic. It's like, dude, I know the world has its end. Like he had all of these moments that it was just like, he was much more of a chill figure towards those around him, while still being, you know, very Sonic, but he lost a lot of the traits that Ryan had. A lot of them. Because he was like, oh yeah, I love adventure. No, he was like, dude, like, okay, I'm gonna do my thing, and a lot of the things that I'm gonna do, I'm gonna be mostly quiet when I do them, because he wasn't really like, other than when he boosted in Unleashed, and that was like, woo, and everything, he was quiet, collected, and he cracked a few jokes here and there, and boom. And then we completely changed that, and we went to like, I'm Sonic the Hedgehog, I crack jokes, and I sound deeper, and I'm like cool as fuck. They've all kind of changed a little bit, and I feel like,
you know what?
And I feel like it's worth mentioning that now, even if we're maintaining the voice actor, in Roger, we're moving away from that. Egghead, now I'm cracking this joke, and I sound high-pitched, and it's like I'm going this, and that. In Frontiers, we're kind of, I think, seeing a mix of a lot of these things, where it's like, he's gonna crack these jokes, but he's also gonna be very, you know, kind of how Jason was, like, okay, Tails, like, don't worry, dude, like, you've been a little inconsistent, but now you're doing fine, buddy, don't worry about it. Knuckles, you have us, you know, don't worry about it. Like, I see us going into an era where we're mixing a lot of things, especially from the Roger era and from the Jason era. Like, it's worth noting that Sonic has never he's never stayed one thing. It's always been a little different.
Well, adding on that, I actually remembered that it was so long ago I forgot, but that's actually what my part 2 of voice acting discussion on my channel ended on. I think I ended up saying, like, after all of this, because I think I like went through a similar exploration. This is obviously more in depth because it's more modern, but what I more or less came to the conclusion of is that the reason it's challenging and there's this buildup of energy is because every other actor had like a turn. You know what I mean? They had an era. Even Devin Mack like had a show, and now like Ben Schwartz has the movie. And because Roger didn't get the movie and the show, which honestly I think he should have. Just let me start by saying that he should have, even though I don't prefer his choice.
I think the show absolutely. I think Prime at the very least absolutely.
But because that happened, even though I think it shouldn't have happened, I now think that because there is now new Sonics that have come out with modern products and content, I think they should lean into that and pass the torch when they get the chance. I don't think there's, especially because Roger hasn't been there since the start, I don't think there's any reason to cling to Roger if they don't have to. Again, my feelings would be completely different if they decided to stick with him for Prime and the movies. But again, if they truly think that Roger's voice is versatile, as you say, then they would have put him in the movie, and they would have put him in Prime.
Probably. Oh no! Please don't make me lose. Okay.
Yeah, well, obviously Sega doesn't have that as an opinion, so it's just kind of like, okay, then if Sonic is always changing, then let's let him change.
Yep. No, absolutely. Again, I think Prime... The thing for Prime is like Devin Mack sounds like so many voice actors all at once, but I feel like his main influence is Roger. Like, I hear him and I'm like...
Yeah, that's why I mostly focused on like his natural speaking voice is placed differently, so it's natural. It means that when Devin has to make acting choices, every single acting choice has more color, so to speak. Like obviously it's not literally color, but like fuller in his voice, and it just fits Sonic's. I mean, it fits so well with Prime in particular because his movement is so fluid and rubbery and bouncy. Roger, in order to do that same kind of fun dialogue, just needs to have a lower placement. He does a lot of that stuff in Boom. It's just a different pitch.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, it's just... It's not a... Everyone is going to have their favorite Sonic actor. Some of you are going to think Roger is not a good fit. And then some people that, you know, are new fans and they've never played a Jason game, or they grew up with Roger fully, which, again, nowadays it makes total sense because he's been the actor for a decade. They'll think Roger is better. It's like... We can dissolve this conversation into like and this is what Evan does really well. He can kind of decipher and dissolve this into why people feel the way they do, and what makes sense in an artist's perspective. But if for one moment we want to be like, okay, fuck all that, let's just be the more basic bitches we can be for a second. Dude, you're just gonna have your preference. It is what it is.
That's why I say... That's why I coupled it in as that one category at the beginning. Because obviously, it's all about the context and the accumulative choices. So if a bunch of generic choices are all made together in the same game, I'm not going to like it. Obviously, if it's the perfect art style upgrade, the model is all intense and like... You know, the action sequences are like Frontiers times 10, like animated way better. Yeah, I'm not gonna give a shit about the voice.
Yep. Yeah. And again, I feel like, again, my final thoughts on that is that I think I understand. Me personally, I understand why we have Roger. I get it. I feel like it's a voice that, like it or not, it's pleasant to listen to. I disagree with the comments of it's like maybe a little too deep, and Frontiers in some areas I can fully agree, fully. But listening to his voice, you know, when they do the Chow Tales, you know, when Sonic grunts, because in Chow Tales he doesn't even speak, but we have his grunts when he speaks in games and everything, I think it's fine. I think, like, again, if we look at it from a Sean Schmel's perspective, as in I couldn't have the you know, prior Sonics as a basis, it's like, it makes total sense to me. I think I look at Sonic, and I think that voice to me makes sense. But not a lot of people are going to agree, because a lot of other people are going to have way different opinions as to where Sonic is. And I feel like my opinion of Sonic has always evolved as the games have gone on, because I'm always like, okay, I see what they're doing here. I see where we're at now. And I feel like I kind of understand the Sega perspective of where we are and why this voice is the one we have. But a lot of people are not going to understand that, and a lot of people are going to like feel like, okay, Sonic's model should still be, you know, chubbier, it should still follow more of the Mickey Mouse philosophy, he should be a little bigger, we should still have the Sonic Adventure models. And at that point, if you think like this, obviously Roger is not the voice for Sonic. Obviously. If you feel like Sonic is still like that, oh yeah, like I love it, like sure. If that is your Sonic, I get it. I get why Roger is not. But to me, that Sonic is just not where we are right now. We're at a different point. And to me, Roger makes sense at this point. That's literally all. Rant/over. It's not even a rant, it's just my take.
Logan, just so you know, I am aware. I'm Canadian myself, and I studied acting in Canada. So I am aware, but when I talk about Sega making the choice to not have Roger, I'm talking about them making the choice to produce like the animation in Canada, right? Because like Canada has that law, because so many Canadians, it's very easy for them to just as actors move to America, right? It's not really difficult to as an actor to just get work in America. And so that means Canada loses all their talent, and they don't want that. They need to keep their talent. So that law makes sense. However, Sega, as a company, they can choose to get their animation done wherever they want. They have so many options. They chose Canada because it's close enough but cheap enough, and they made that deliberate decision that Roger, or maintaining Roger, was not worth it. And that's why I'm saying that I would feel differently if it was a different story, right? If they did prioritize Roger, then I'd be like, all right, you're committing to a direction. That's why I use the word insecurity. They're clearly insecure about voices in general because they're not clinging to Roger for a very specific, passionate reason, because they're willing to throw him in the garbage whenever they want to.
Right.
Do you see what I'm saying? Like, my opinion is very nuanced. Like, I would be on Roger's side. Like, it's not even about not being on his side. Like, I'm obviously on his side because, if anything, I have a bias towards him the most. I've been in a voice acting booth. I've been with other voice acting professionals next to me trying to get into the industry and how difficult it is.
Yep.
It's about the lackluster direction and the people that are barking orders at these people. And it's almost always, I have to say always someone who doesn't know what the hell they're talking about, and it's frustrating. So that's why it's always about like the word generic and insecurity. Like, you can enjoy Roger, you can think it fits, but again, with my experience, it's impossible for me to not just say that, because it's like, don't get too attached, because again, just like my favorite voice was disrespected and wasn't fucking taken care of.
Oh, it'll happen with Roger.
The same is probably true about Roger.
It'll happen. It almost already happened with Roger. It almost already happened with Roger, but clearly talks there ended up being successful, and we got him back. Which that was some people's birthday, and then some other people's 9/11. But regardless, it happened. We managed to get Roger back. It was almost over for him. Almost. It happened. We know. But, you know, if anything, I feel like Roger so far is the most respected Sonic actor by Sega. Like, so far. And that doesn't mean he hasn't had his disrespect, because again, you can argue that he should have been the one in the movies, even though, you know, it's a younger Sonic, so I'm not quite sure. But again, arguably, he should have been the one because he's Sonic.
Wait, are you saying he's respected because he's had it the longest?
I think
that's more so what I was saying earlier about the industry in voice acting and gaming in general stabilized far more. Like, when Ryan was in it, it was like... Yeah. Like, if you hear anything about, like, how that game was put together in terms of dubbing, it was, like, they were just, like, doing the best they could. Like, there was no standards.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like,
absolutely.
Like, it was the same like that almost all the way until, like, Heroes. And Jason, it was still pretty new. Like, 4Kids was roasted for its dubbing for a really long time.
Yeah, for a really long time.
Like, it took a while for things to stabilize and actually make sense.
Yep.
And I'm sorry, but Roger was very much right place, right time. Mm-hmm. He's really good at what he does. Mm-hmm. But I think the reason, like, I don't think it has anything to do with Sega internally, like, feeling a different way or, like, Roger's nicer to them. Like, I have no doubt that Ryan and Jason were fine in terms of manners.
Yeah.
I mean, and don't get me wrong, it's not like voice actors, they roll out the red carpet for them these days either.
Yeah,
they still aren't treated the way they need to be. I'm just saying it was far worse.
Yep. No, I can totally understand that. All in all, like, due to circumstances, I do feel like he is the most well-respected one so far. Right? Again, due to happenstance, not because maybe Sega has improved a lot, you know what I mean? But due to happenstance, I do feel like, you know, he's the one that's been most respected, obviously. Oh my god, what are people doing here? Get out of the way. Yeah, that's what I thought.
What's Blaze's skill do?
Burst hover. She flies around and goes fast.
Wait, she flies but Tails doesn't?
No, Tails does. We showcased it. Tails also flies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was like a fly boost.
Well, yeah, and Blaze has like a similar thing. She kind of like starts hovering a little bit like Tails, but goes forward mainly. It's like mainly like something that goes forward, so not much height, but mainly goes forward.
Yeah, not even a cameo. Ali Reza. I think that's how you pronounce it. Ali Reza. Not even a cameo from Roger in the movies. Like, we don't even have an Izuka cameo or like, come on, what's going on? I mean, but you know what? I feel very greedy though right now because we did get like live and learn and everything. Like, oh my god, did I tell this story to you guys? There was a guy sitting next to me in the theater when I was watching the third Sonic movie. By the way, this was just a regular theater. I had the completely regular movie experience this time.
Okay.
No premiere or anything.
Okay. Yeah.
And the guy next to me, when Maria's like playing Live and Learn at the beginning on the guitar, like the acoustic guitar, the guy next to me for no reason whispers to me, "That's City Escape, you know." And
What? Did you correct him?
I said, "I'm pretty sure that's Live and Learn."
Did he say anything back?
No, he doubled down. He's like, "No, I'm pretty sure that's Cityscape," and I was like, "Oh, no,
yeah, that has to be like some layers of irony we could not understand.
Okay.
That had to be some layers of irony we could not understand. No way, dude. No fucking way. That is so funny. That is actually so funny.
Oh, I told the story kind of wrong. Hold on, it was a while ago. So it was like, I was at the end of the movie. It was the credits.
Oh, it was the credits.
And I was like, and I saw that they credited City Escape, and I was like, where? Where was City Escape? It wasn't there.
It was.
Yeah, this story's more believable. Like, why is this guy talking to me? No, he's sitting next to me because he's waiting for a post-credit scene, right? So I'm going, where the hell is City Escape? I'm seeing it in the credits.
Yeah.
And he goes, it was at the beginning. Maria was playing on the guitar, and I was like,
no,
that was Live and Learn.
That was Live and Learn, yes.
And then he's like, nah, I'm pretty sure it was Cityscape. I'm like,
no.
Okay, all right.
She plays...
Like, I just immediately, like, de-escalated. I was like, whatever.
Yeah, okay. No, she plays Live and Learn at the beginning. City Escape is literally just a few notes that you can hear in the composition in the, well, literal City Escape sequence where Sonic...
Right? I tried to listen to it after. You could barely hear it.
Yeah, no, it's there,
so
it's there. You hear a a little bit. Like, you hear a little bit. Like it's... You hear that... Like, you kind of hear it. It's just like, oh, it's there, but it's like not, but it is. Yeah, it is, indeed, during the London scene. Sonic's too busy doing like all these references and getting tea and shit, but yeah, you hear a few notes in the background like Do I have ring swipe here? I do. Oh my god, ring swipe for this is so bro. There's no way, man. Rumble, delete ring swipe. That's too good. That's too good. It's too good. It's too good. Ring swipe is too good. Delete. Get rid of. Nerf. Like, see, I'm just gonna use it like, I don't know, like here? Okay, that was not too many rings. Cherries in a better way, but it's too good. It's too good. Ring swipe is very good. I am not sure how I feel about it. Well, yeah, no, I know how I feel about it. It's too good. Ring swipe. Boom. Silly. Straight up silly.
Honestly, like, I'm not as excited for the 4th Sonic movie, but here's why. Because we got over the anxiety part. Like, oh no, is the Sonic movie franchise going to be successful? Like, yeah,
yes,
we figured it out.
Yes.
It's fine. The answer is yes. So in terms of, like, for me, you guys won't be surprised to hear this, but now my focus is on, like, what Sega doing with the game. Right?
Yeah.
Because, like, in the context of a movie, when it comes to those generic decisions or those compromises,
what?
In the context of, like, Hollywood and stuff, obviously you need to make a bunch of generic general public choices. But when it comes to a game, it's a different story.
This guy won, like, he robbed me the win at the last time and emoted on me. TTV me, if you hear this... Fuck you, pal. Straight up, fuck you, pal. Not cool. What you did to me right there, it's not cool. Not cool. Oh, that is a lot of rumbling. Let me claim my stuff. Oh,
I'm
man.
getting the urge to once again say I disliked Sonic 3. That's totally okay.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I don't agree, but that's fair.
It's for me. It's like I mean, I put it through the lens of how I was describing things earlier. Like, I'm willing to compromise on a lot more generic choices. Because honestly, you want me to be like kind of like a little bit more savage and like mean?
Sure.
The characterization of Sonic in the movies sucks. I hate him. I think he sucks. That's not my guy.
Yep.
But that can't be that surprising to hear from you guys, because I don't really like the characterization too much of like current Sonic. Like, it's obviously an improvement in Frontiers, but I think they can do better. But I don't know if my enjoyment of the direction is like, I don't know if the direction is for me though, so I don't know if it really matters if I care about that. But in terms of the movie, if that replaced Game Sonic, the actual guy, no, it's not my guy. That's not
No. Movie Sonic is not my guy either. He's not. I totally agree. That's somewhere we
Movie
can.
Sonic makes everybody else look really, really cool.
Yeah, and he does have his Jason moments of being a fucking psychologist toward his friends. He does it with Tails, he does it with Knuckles, and he does it with Shadow. That right there, that right there is very Sonic, but
it's true. But the way
he goes about it,
the
way he gets there is very different,
because he, like, what they're doing, even with like the multiple movies, and with Knuckles and Tails, like you said, right? He'll make that same mistake himself first, like in a very recent time period.
Yes.
And then he'll immediately be like the authority on that subject.
Yeah.
Like, he'll now then teach that lesson immediately to Tails and Knuckles, and it's like, bro, you're acting like the Sonic who like just fundamentally knows that, because he's more of that.
Yeah,
that character that's
you're
supposed to be
acting
the Rock
Sonic, but
the whole
you
group.
were not like you weren't acting Sonic a second ago, and like that doesn't allow you to justify the way you're going about this. Like it doesn't justify it.
The clearest way I can put it, because I'm trying to put my point of view in the shoes of a movie fan. Mm-hmm. The way that the character Tom in the movie functions for Sonic, Tom is Sonic's rock, right? Like, he is consistent. You go to him for advice and get grounded. That's how Sonic is supposed to be for everybody else. So I'm not asking for Sonic to become that person while Tom is there, because it would make Tom not make sense. They would need to explain, like, Tom dying, or like, are they gone? Like, where the heck did they go? Like, the Tom and Maddie have been such a big part of all three movies now that, like, it wouldn't make sense for them to just disappear at this point. So, like, I understand that Sonic can't be that way, but, like, we're talking about, like, if you're gonna take the skeleton of a story and how it's written, like, from the skeleton, that's not my guy. Like, it's not. Yeah. They're not using the character in the narrative way that I like him to be used.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. That is, movie Sonic is very much not my Sonic, but when I can separate that, I can still, like, look at the movies and, you know, look at him and be like, you know, that he's fine, he's okay, but he's not my Sonic. No, he's not. He is not at all. But yeah, unless we get any... Well, I just think we'll have these last 15 minutes just to catch up with chat a little bit. Chat, if you have anything worth bringing to the table that you might want to discuss. My goal is to be done in the next 15, so yeah, let's chat. Whatever you guys have to say, let's hear it. Also, I'll take the opportunity to again say I appreciate every single one of you that, you know, comes to these streams. I really, really appreciate it, and hopefully we can, you know, grow this community as we go forward to the next Sonic game, especially his next mainline. So yeah, thank you guys. If you have anything, now's the time. We got some time before we gotta wrap up. Sonic goes to college at 9 to 5. I will say though, I enjoyed my time with Rumble as we chatted. Do I think we'll get a Central? Mayhaps? Mayhaps? I'm not sure.
Maybe. I wasn't thinking of that.
Maybe. Mayhaps. Infinite should return in a shadow game. I can see that. I think Infinite is a cool character with a cool song in a very unfortunate situation with, Sonic Forces. So I would be down to see him again. I'm a lot more willing to give Infinite a second chance than I am willing to give the Deadly Six, their multiple chances that they've had already, and I'm still not a big fan. But Infinite, I already kind of like baseline, and I think he could only get better. So absolutely.
I don't understand why we can give validation to like 06 and Lost World and all this other shit, but we just can't give validation to Forces. Like, I've said it multiple times, but the only reason I hate on Forces so much is because, like, as a product, it deserves, like, you gotta think about it. The only thing that pisses CEOs off is if the sales of something sucks. So it's like, unfortunately, the only way we can say like F you to people like that, like Moneybags, is to roast on a brand and damage the brand's kind of reputation.
Yep.
And the choices for marketing for Forces sucked, and I think it deserves a negative reputation for that, because when you're making a marketing campaign, you're trying to make people remember your game. And they're literally in a room going, people are going to remember this from this game, and they're going to associate this with this game forever. Like, that's part of the marketing campaign. And they chose to kind of mislead people in a lot of different ways. So no shit. Yeah, it's going to rub people, a lot of people the wrong way. The people who it didn't rub the wrong way are probably people who were just not paying as close attention to the marketing campaign. And there's a lot of people like that, which is why it's so divisive. You're going to have people who just weren't following it so closely, and people who were. And depending on that is how pissed off you're going to be.
Yep, absolutely. Sonic for Hire, the movie. Yeah, Forces is a game that it happened. I'm glad we're over it. I'm very glad that Frontiers was the next product, because it was really important for me, at least, to have a product that I was like, that I personally really enjoyed, and that gave me a positive outlook on the future of this franchise. And Frontiers was just that for me. Luckily, it's what I needed after Forces, because Forces, again, it just needed to be so much more, and it wasn't, and we generally risked. We were in very thin waters. I feel like after Forces release with the Sonic franchise, like very thin waters, and we should be, again, regardless, like. It's totally fine by me if you do not like Frontiers. It's totally fine by me if you dislike it more than you like it. That's totally fair. But I would, even in that position, I would still be thankful for that game and what the majority seems to think about it, which is, positive. That we are at the spot that we're at right now. Because holy fudge, it was not looking over Sonic. Forces was, we were saying Forces was a make or break game. And it ended up being more of a break than it was a make. So it's unfortunate, very unfortunate. So thank God we managed to salvage the franchise out of that, because again it really rough, like really rough times. I feel like it needed to be so much more, and it was various things that it did not have to be. Is Crosswalls having all of the rogues? I think Crosswalls will have all of the rogues, yes. Jet, Wave, and Storm. I do believe that is the case. The beta did not have all of the characters, so I would assume so. I think it's a safe bet. There's a 1% chance I'm wrong, but I think it's a safe bet that the rogues will be there, yes. Seeing as Extreme Gear, are kind of a big deal. The whiplash from Maria to Forces was insane. Yeah, again, it's why I'm so thankful that we're in the spot that we're at right now. We're at a point where I feel like Sonic is allowed to be... Like, Sonic, I don't mean specifically the character, but I mean, like, the Sonic franchise is allowed to be what the developers want it to be, what Sonic Team wants it to be. And I am very, very, very thankful for that. Because Forces is a product of the Sonic franchise not being allowed to be what the developers want it to be. You can see in the soundtrack notes, like the special edition release of the soundtrack, you can see in the notes how Sonic Team, Otani I believe at the time, was pitching like all of these vocal themes for Sonic Forces. And for stages, like for modern Sonic stages and stuff in Sonic Forces, but Sega of America was shutting them all down. All of them down. And how it's a miracle that the Infinite theme managed to pull through the way it did. Because Sega of America was simply not allowing Sonic to be what it had to be, man. That's simple. That's simple. And going from there to Frontiers having borderline metal, death metal in its songs for boss fights is absolutely incredible. And then vocals for character themes, etc, etc. And a main vocal theme. Like, we're at a point where I'm really thankful for what's happening, and I just hope it keeps going. Evan agrees, by the way.
Yes.
See? We're waiting for a little bit of chat to catch up. Here seems for them to be more like a break by giving us Rumble and Crosswalls because they haven't been providing concerts in cafe. The only thing was a call for business. Yeah. Yeah, no, this year again, the year of Shadow was a really strong year. To me, it was arguably one of the best, if not the best year, to be a Sonic fan in the entirety of Sonic. I think it was an amazing year, so this year, you know, taking it a little easier, doing spin-offs, doing fun things, I mean, it makes sense to me. It makes sense to me. But yeah, I need another storybook game. I feel you, I would love to, we'll see. But don't get me started on what would happen if that storybook game has Roger as his voice actor, and oh my god, it would just... Oh my god, I don't have the energy for it right now. I really don't. So yeah, thank you guys for coming to the stream. I feel like this is a good spot to leave it there. Evan, any closing thoughts from your end, or have you said your piece?
I've definitely said my piece and a half.
Evan has said multiple of his pieces, and I feel like so have I at this point. So yeah, hopefully see you guys next week for another stream. We'll see if we do Sonic Rumble again or if we do some different things. Depends on if Sonic Rumble has anything noteworthy to show off. And again, the game is in very, rapid active development. So, there's a chance there is something significant to show next week. Or maybe not. And if not, and if things have slowed down a little bit as they, polish things up for whatever the global release may end up being, because again, right now we do not have a date, we can look into doing anything else. Maybe some Sonic and Sega All-Star Racing Transform, just as a warm-up to Crossworlds eventually. Stuff like that. We'll see. Plenty of stuff to talk about, and if not, maybe it's just a straight up, we can return to our hot takes and, have more of a, face scam kind of discussion to things. So we'll see. But again, thank you guys for coming. Evan appreciates you. He's not gonna say it because he's very shy, but he appreciates you, and so do I.
What? I'm not shy. I'm right here.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for being here,
There you have it.
Thanks for the chat.
Yeah, thanks for the chat, guys. It's been really fun as per usual. So hopefully we see you guys next week. Peace, and yeah, thank you all those of you who are pretty much always here. I see you, I really appreciate you. when we are in the millions and Tails channel is the best thing of all time. I'll remember. And yeah, you're welcome, but seriously, thank you for tuning. Thank you. Like, I appreciate it so much. Thank you guys, and take care. Bye. Bye, Evan. Goodbye,
Bye.
Evan. Bye. Goodbye. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.